Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the Evolve Voices podcast, a platform to hear about the fascinating stories behind the people that power global commerce. I am Mayssa Nasr, a marketing and growth consultant, and I am your MENA region host of Evolve Voices. Today, I am thrilled to be joined by Mariella Abdo, who is a general manager of Memac Ogilvy for Lebanon and Iraq. The agency is one of the largest marketing agencies in the region. And Mariella has been with them for over 18 years, which is a very rare feat in the fast paced world of marketing and advertising. So she has led her teams through creativity, innovation, and resilience, all while navigating the unique challenges of working in very unstable environments. So, in this conversation, we'll dive into her experiences leading one of the most influential agencies in the Middle East, debunk myths about agency, and explore the latest marketing trends. So whether you're a marketing professional, aspiring leader, or simply curious about what it takes to be thriving in challenging circumstances, this episode will be packed with insights, inspiration, and real human stories. So let's dive in. Mariella, welcome to the Evolve Voices podcast, and thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thank you so much, Mayssa, and thank you so much for this lovely introduction. Looking forward to share my thoughts, my experiences with the audience.
So tell us first, you've been with Memac Ogilvy for over 18 years, right?
Yeah.
So what has actually kept you loyal to the same company for so long?
Yes, it's very rare actually, specifically in our industry, to stay that long. But if I want to put it in simple words, it's growth.
Okay.
Usually, the first perception, whenever you see someone staying at the same company, you would imagine that this person is not really up for challenges or getting out of the comfort zone. In my experience specifically, it was all about getting out of my comfort zone, navigating
Okay.
different roles, different regions. I started as an intern at Ogilvy, actually. I started
Wow.
as an intern, a junior executive in the advertising field. I jumped to regional planning for public relations. So I
Okay.
acquired the advertising, then the public relations, then back to Beirut office as a business director, and up to the managerial role, which I have been assuming for the past 4 years almost.
And
Yes.
you never thought about leaving and exploring
I got a
anything
lot of
else?
opportunities
Yes.
actually. At some point, I even signed with someone, but the
Okay.
agency, luckily, I was lucky. Our late CEO and chairman fought for me and asked me to stay. So I couldn't resist. The
Okay.
senior person I look up to has asked me to stay. So it was kind of a sign about how Ogilvy, maintain and retain their employees and their talents. And that's the culture that we are actually, still following till this day.
Mm, that's great actually. So tell us, let's dive a bit into the world of the agencies, right? So
Hmm.
many people out there imagine agency life as very glamorous, full of creativity, big pitches, So I'm sure that there are some myths, about working in an agency that you'd like to debunk today. So what are some of these myths?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it's not glamorous. It's a really nice industry, but
Okay.
as you said, it's a myth because if you go into the actual world, it's an industry that requires a lot of stress management. You need to operate in a
Mm,
very stressful environment, high-paced environment. You need to evolve. You need to adapt. You need to be very understanding of the counterparty, be it the client, the suppliers, the different stakeholders that you're dealing with. So it's not really all pink and shiny and rainbows. Of course not. But if you like this industry and if you feel that you belong to the advertising or communication industry, you would enjoy it. So all those things are real, but at the same time, they're not the only things that we enjoy in this industry. Even operating under pressure is something that I personally enjoy, or else I wouldn't be, working in this
mm.
industry for the past 18 years.
Yeah. So you need to be able to work under pressure, right?
Of course, that's one of the most important points, and this is something that I always highlight to the new recruits, to the
Mm,
people joining, or even during my talks with university students, I like to think of it like, it's about educating the new joiners, or whoever wants to join this industry. It is, from the outside it looks very shiny, and
Mm.
sometimes it is shiny, like the awards, the rush
Yes.
of going to pitches, developing nice decks, presentation, creative ideas. Definitely you can enjoy this point, but at the same time, it's really exhausting, dealing
Mm.
with different people, operating under pressure, tight timelines, long working hours, because it's not really a job from 9 to 5. Let's all agree.
Okay.
It's a job that you need to invest a lot of your time in.
Okay. So the fact that you've been, in this environment for more than 18 years, from your own, perspective, how did the advertising and marketing agency model evolve since you first started up until now?
Oh, it has evolved drastically, drastically.
Okay.
When I first started, the campaigns were like basically ATL, BTL, above the line, below the line, outdoor, TVC,
Okay.
but and then we had the social media, and it was a revolution by itself, but now it's very outdated. So now it's all about data, it's all about consumer behavior. The consumer is no longer someone who should be absorbing the message. At the contrary, we need to understand the consumer in order to talk in his own language and meet his or her own expectations. And when I
Mm.
say expectations, it's not only about the product. Sometimes we need to go into a purpose driven communication, and this is where you can link data and communication, and this is where the effectiveness of the right communication comes in.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yes,
And
it has evolved, and now with the AI, let's not forget the AI. So
yes, this was my next question actually. So how are you using AI today in all this?
we are using heavily AI, and
Okay.
actually, I had a talk about in one of the universities about this, because AI now is a given. We cannot
Mm.
choose or not choose AI. It's like
Yeah.
when you say 20 years ago or 15 years ago, someone chose not to use emails. They cannot cope
They
with the
can.
progress.
Okay.
So
Okay.
AI now is a given, and you need to adapt quickly to it, because either you can go obsolete, or you would lose your flair in terms of professional, specifically working in the advertising industry, or at the contrary, you would utilize it as a tool, not as a
Mm.
replacement. A tool, so you
Mm.
can optimize. For instance, if I want to talk about our own experience as Ogilvy, we are
Yes.
part of yes, we are part of WPP, and WPP has invested a lot of money into a tool which is called WPP Open. It's kind of a platform where you can use different AI tools, be it ChatGPT, Gemini, Veo, different tools, and you can create agent, educate those agents to your benefit. So this is how we are utilizing AI, and this is how we are pushing our employees, being juniors, mid-level, or even senior levels, to use AI on daily basis. Because if we don't cope with this progress, we cannot continue with this industry.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Nice. And tell me a bit about your leadership style today. How would you describe it?
It's I would describe myself as an empathetic leader, honestly. I like to understand people. I like to talk to the people. But at the same time, I'm not really an easy to convince. I'm a perfectionist, so I
Okay.
always keep on challenging my people to give their best, to go out of their comfort zone. Some people would maybe crash or would not
Mm.
cope with this, but at the same time, the people that can understand the vision of the company and the standard that we are setting, specifically as Ogilvy, as a multinational agency, at the contrary, they will learn, they will progress, and they will adapt. Same as what happened with me. Like, I started not knowing anything about advertising industry, even though I was an advertising student. But
Yes.
I kept challenging myself. I kept going out of my comfort zone to learn and to progress. And
Mm.
I truly believe about people empowerment, about pushing people to go beyond their boundaries. This doesn't mean I'm a strict leader. At the contrary, I
Yeah.
listen, I understand, I'm a very flexible leader. But at the same time, when it comes to the standard of work, the outcome that you are producing, it's not about my leadership, it's about the company's level and expectations. And the clients,
Mm.
what are they expecting from our end? I'm
Yeah.
not sure if
And
I answered your
yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You answered it very, very well. On the contrary, but because you're working today in Lebanon and you are overseeing Lebanon and Iraq, which are two countries that are unstable today, right? In a region that is unstable. So, how do you keep your teams motivated and inspired when all the environment around them isn't always stable?
A very good question. Basically, it's about celebrating the small wins. It's about those small pleasures that we have in terms of having breakfast each Thursday, mingling with each other, telling each other some stories, sharing some personal stories, because at the end of the day, you're spending most of your time with with the people you are working with.
Yes.
I'm a mom, but at the same time, I can say I spend more than 50% of my time with my colleagues, my people. So it's very important to that you feel at home first, and to make them feel that this is their second home,
Mm.
because we have to talk to each other, we have to understand each other, we have our ups and downs, we have our challenges, problems. So it's all about understanding, hearing, and being empathetic. Then again,
Okay.
being empathetic
Yes.
does not mean that you are compromising on the outcome, or you're being very flexible with whatever the people are delivering at the end of the day.
Yes.
But we are one big family. This is how I would describe it, the culture of family.
Nice, nice. And what about the clients? Because it's also not easy to lead
Mm,
clients in countries, like Lebanon and Iraq. So what does it
yeah.
mean to lead clients in such an environment, unstable environment? How do you keep clients with you? How do you tell them that you can do it, that you'll continue with them? So because it's not easy, how do you do it?
It's first of all, you need to understand really the market dynamic you're operating in. So you cannot live in Lebanon and work for Iraq without knowing what's happening in Iraq, without
Mm,
watching the news, without following the
yes.
main social platforms, the trends, without also getting personal with your clients, asking about their families, asking about their work, if they're happy. So basically. Creating a special bond with your clients,
Okay.
definitely you need to gain their trust, and this trust is gained by the outcome you are providing, because if you're providing a great outcome, they will look great in front of their
True.
management or their customers, etc. So it's a combination of both,
Okay.
getting close to your customer, understanding well what triggers them, what ticks with them, and at the same time being very close to the context, understanding what does Iraq is what Iraq is going through, what do Iraqi feels right now, what kind of challenges they are facing, because this will also dictate the communication and the campaigns that we're doing. So
Mm,
it's a combination
okay.
of both.
And how do you do it if you have a client in both countries? Do you usually change the overall communication because you need to adapt to a certain market, or it's under the same umbrella, but you change the means or the way you'll be communicating?
I wouldn't restrict it to the markets. With it's depending on the client specifically. So,
Okay.
for instance, we use a project management platform for some clients in Iraq and in Lebanon.
Okay.
Uh, and also we have clients in Dubai based out of Beirut. So
Okay.
we sometimes we use this project management tool. Other clients prefer emails the traditional way. Other clients, most of the clients actually use WhatsApp. We try to
Mm,
limit, because even though it's nice and it's fast and it's friendly, but sometimes it can create a lot of chaos and you cannot really monitor what's happening. So we try to limit it to the small communication and small requests, but each client requires a certain way of communication, and this is how we can adapt. Even the same client, sometimes with the same client, different departments, you would adapt to the different ways of working they have. For instance, if they
Okay.
like to have someone locally talking to them in the market, other
Mm.
clients would basically prefer to have someone in Lebanon talking to them, and it's not really a big issue to have a team in Lebanon. So it depends. It depends.
And I don't know if you can share with us any personal slash professional story of resilience or creativity, that came out of challenging circumstances.
Of course, of course. Basically, it's not too far. A year ago, we all know we went into a war. All of the sudden, the whole operation was at risk, honestly, because we didn't know if we can continue, if our employees would be safe coming to work, to the offices. Our offices were close a bit to where the war was happening. But the good part of being part of a multinational, WPP, Ogilvy, they really took good care of the employees. They put the employees first. People were working remotely. The ones who were basically living in certain high risk areas were relocated either to Jordan or to remote areas in Lebanon.
Okay.
And funny enough, we actually achieved the highest revenue in the history of Ogilvy, Beirut, last year. So we managed
Wow.
to maintain our client, gain the loyalty of our employees because they really appreciated what we did, and grow the business. So this is something that I'm really really proud about, and I hope. Many companies would follow this, like putting employees first, the safety of the employees first, and business is also as important, but in like situations like this, it should come second.
Exactly. Mariela, tell us, what are some marketing trends that you are most excited about? Maybe in the future you see some marketing trends that will come, or now we are seeing some new marketing trends, especially with AI. Are there any specific marketing trend that you think will be the hype, of the future of this industry?
I would go back to the AI point, Mayssa, because
Okay.
I truly think we are just seeing the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the AI.
Mm,
I truly think the whole industry will transform the way we communicate, the way we even work internally before, putting our communication out for the public, the customers. I'm really excited to see how AI can leverage creativity, because so
mm,
far AI didn't manage to crack the human creativity or to outshine the human creativity. I truly believe by time this will happen, and
okay.
I'm excited to see how it will unfold. And I think humans, like the humanity in general, has a big role to play to
Mm.
actually refocus AI and use it as a servant, not as a master.
I like this. I like this sentence. Okay. But do you think that with AI, do you think agencies, the role of agencies will still be needed?
That's a very big question, and everyone is
Mm,
asking this. But what I can tell you, if the clients, if the clients decided that they can basically let go agencies, this means the clients themselves, their job, their roles will also be obsolete by AI. So we come back to the point where we try to understand or to figure out. I wouldn't say understand because it's very very premature now to understand. To figure out
yes.
a way to basically put AI as a tool, not something that
Mm,
fully rely on, because at the end of the day it's people serving people. AI can outshine us when it comes to intelligence, data and analysis. Definitely there are some jobs that will fade away, that's a given,
yes.
but but it's our role to actually pave the way on where we can, find this balance.
And today, how do you balance the data driven marketing, which is also led a lot by AI, and the need for creativity and storytelling? So today, how do you do it within your teams to find this balance?
Basically, data should inform. Okay, should inform us, should and actually is helping us to better understand customers on the go, to optimize. But creativity should be
Mm-hmm.
kind of they intersect. It should Creativity should inform the message based on the data that
Okay.
we are getting or we are analyzing. So it's all about optimization, but at the
Okay.
same time being creative while optimizing. If we go back
Mm.
like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, Maisa, we used to have one big creative idea, and that's our campaign. And we go and roll out
Yes.
the campaign, be it outdoor, social even. Now it's no longer about the one big idea. It's about adapting the different messaging and creative ideas to the different touch points, and this is where data
Mm.
can help feed into the creativity and vice versa.
Okay. Okay. And are there today any campaigns or project that you feel particularly proud of leading, that your team has worked on?
Of course, there are many, many to count. I just want to highlight that in Memac Ogilvy, Beirut, we have opened the first content studio in the MENA, Ogilvy Content Studio, serving Nestle brands.
Yeah.
And this
Okay.
content studio is all about, getting the data, optimizing on the go, having real-time content, being on trends, producing those assets in the agency, in our own small production room, sharing it with our clients and customers. I'm really proud of how we are, basically keeping up to date with everything that is, evolving. But at the same time, we are still operating, from this perspective and from the, I wouldn't say traditional, but I would say the most common communication channels, which is, the campaigns that you see for instance, we recently launched a campaign for our for our telco client Zain Iraq. It
Okay.
was a loyalty program. It was very, very local. It had a very local insight, and actually everyone started singing it and using the word. So this is what makes you really, fall in love with this industry, because you have an impact on those people. The fact that they are using your song, repeating your song, using the name that you created for a certain product, this really, gives you a certain satisfaction.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Mariella, so let's go into more, personal stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not only a general manager today, you are also a mom. Let's say you are first a mom, right? So how do you navigate the demands of leadership and motherhood? Especially that you were saying, before that it's not a 9 to 5 job, it's demanding, you need to work under stress. So how do you navigate all this and how do you make sure not to bring the work stress at home?
Okay. In two words, I would say it's embracing chaos. You cannot be perfectionist when it comes to balancing work and personal life,
Mm,
and it's okay. You cannot, and you need to allow yourself to understand that it's okay sometimes to let go some things over other things. So. It's really something challenging, as is something that I've been working on for the past period, because it's not easy, specifically when you're a new mom. You'd feel
yes.
this guilt, so, have this dilemma: should I continue working? Should I stop working? But what I can say that luckily I decided to continue working, and I don't regret it at all, because I heard that, I think the PepsiCo CEO said that your career path goes really at the the contrary direction of your personal path. Whenever you
Mm.
start, having kids and having more responsibilities to spend more time and with your on your personal life, this is where you need also to focus on your career, and you're growing from mid to senior level, which is something really challenging. The fact that you can understand that you cannot be a perfectionist. Sometimes you will, let's say, let go some things on your personal life or with your kids, and other times you would definitely totally disconnect from your professional life because you have something much more important happening in your personal life. And whenever you have the sense of responsibility, ownership on both sides, this is where you understand that it's okay sometimes to let go.
And what has being a parent taught you about leadership at, at the office? So what are you bringing in terms of leadership and vice versa, by the way?
Uh, patience. Number one
Mm,
is patience. Because when you have kids, and this is something that the most precious thing in the world, honestly, you learn how to be patient, you learn how to be empathetic, and you learn it with pleasure. But
yes.
at the same time, you are practicing, and this is where you are implementing this practice in your workplace. Vice versa, uh, mentioning the working under pressure and under stress, this is where you can actually reflect it back in your home. So having kids, especially more than one, I
Yes.
have two kids, so it's you have to work or to deal with stress. You have to deal with tantrums, and this is where you can balance both.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. And apart from being a mom, what do you do outside of work to recharge and stay creative?
It's very important, by the way, to recharge. Sometimes I'm guilty of not, recharging enough. But it's been a year and a half that I decided that I need this time for myself. I started working out. I go like 3 times a week to the gym, weightlifting, and this is, my own time. Uh,
Okay.
uh, it's at 9 p.m. I do it at a very, very late time at night,
Late.
and it was really challenging to actually start it, but I did, and I don't compromise on letting it go. So this is something that would release a bit of stress that I'm living on professional or the personal life. I'm a violinist as well. I play violin, so sometimes I
Okay.
entertain myself.
Yes. 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 So, do you actually see yourself continuing in the agency life, or are there any other dreams you want to do, maybe in parallel? Maybe, I don't know, anything you want to pursue more today?
That's the hardest question, Maisa, because definitely this is something I daily think about sometimes. I love my work. I enjoy what I'm doing, even though it's very stressful, and sometimes it impacts the
Of
personal life.
course.
I cannot lie and say you need to balance. You cannot balance sometimes,
Yeah.
but definitely I want to see myself outside, not completely outside this industry, but I would love to explore some things that would make more impact for me, something that would be more, that would feel more gratifying on a personal level. Maybe I don't have the answer, honestly. It's something really, it's a very big question as I started,
Yes.
but I feel that I could use whatever I learned in the professional world to actually grow more on a personal side. What this
Mm.
side is, I don't know yet.
And is there any legacy that you think about that you would like to leave, both on professional and personal, fronts? What kind of legacy would Mariella wants to leave in this world?
On a professional level, I want to think of myself as someone who had impact on the employees, who managed to grow those people, empower them. They. I hope that they learned a lot from me, and I already hear a lot of good stories about that. Like someone who stopped me, someone who's now, for instance, managing director in a local agency. He would
Yes.
told me that thanks to your strategic thinking, I learned a lot from you, and those things give you a lot of satisfaction. And on a personal level, I would say I would want be the one who made a positive impact on on my kids' life, on my husband's life, on my friends' bigger circle. So any good impact, I think this is an achievement by itself.
There are many young professionals that would like to enter the marketing and the agency world today. So, if you could give them one advice, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Stay curious, get out of your comfort zone, and stay keep on learning. Keep on
Mm,
learning. Don't settle
okay.
for what you learn in the agency or in your company. At the contrary, keep learning, stay curious, ask the right questions. Even the questions that you think that they might be stupid, you have to
Mm,
ask them. This is how you
okay.
can learn.
And only the students who took advertising or marketing class or certificate can actually come and try to have a job, or anyone can try to have a job in an agency. Are there some prerequisite for junior people to try and get into agencies?
At Ogilvy, actually, this is something that we've implemented a few years back, like if I'm not mistaken, 4 to 5 years back. We don't accept fresh grad without passing into an internship, a minimum
Okay,
internship of 3 months. So this is
okay.
where, and it doesn't matter if they come from. Definitely, they need to come from, a major that is close to the advertising, be it marketing, sales, advertising. I think this is essential because they will be exploring or understanding if this is the career path that they want for the next 3, 4, 5 years or not.
Mm-hmm.
And during this time, we would be assessing their personal interpersonal skills, character, personality, working under stress. And I think we kind of recruited around eight interns, and they
Okay,
are the stars of the agency now.
okay. Mariella, do you have any book recommendations for our listeners?
My preferred book of all time, the 48 laws of power. It's a must read, for everyone, because it combines politics, strategic thinking with interpersonal skills. I've learned a lot from this book, and I truly recommend it to everyone, not only working in the advertising agency, everyone in the not only in the professional world. I think it's something for everyone to learn from, because it gives you a lot of tips on how to understand yourself and the people, and how to navigate correctly into the professional world, or even the your environment, your surrounding. So this is a book I would definitely recommend to everyone. It's a bit, not everyone maybe would agree with me, because I know it's a bit
Controversial a bit.
controversial.
Yeah,
Controversial.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I like it, and actually I follow it. This book has really, really, really helped me
Okay,
navigating
nice.
the professional world.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Mariella, at the end of this podcast?
Thank you so much, Mayssa, for your time. Thank you for all the audience who are listening. I hope it was a nice session. I hope I kind of gave a bit of nice perspective on the advertising industry, and women leadership, especially when it comes to juggling
Yes.
between family and professional life. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was such a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mariella. I'm sure that all the listeners, are now with better understanding of the advertising agencies and how they work, all the myths, and also women leadership. Thanks a lot. And for all our listeners, thank you for staying with us up until the end. And as usual, keep evolving.
Great. So this was another great episode. Evolve Voices is a podcast from Evolve Commerce Club, the number one private community, where we connect senior commerce professionals in more than 40 markets. Every week, we invite one expert to share their perspective and their knowledge. If you want to know more about Evolve, look at the link in this episode description to request your invitation. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!